Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the MoneyTrain Father coloring right here. As you see right here, is that is a number about 3 or 4 different things right here. As you have you say is for for father, is that you got it to where that spelling of father, and along with that so far as the definition for the word is like for photo, is you have a father photo. And then, of course, the front of photo is could be also known as like you say another word of saying is like so far as for your special delivery, but you have it to where you got the MoneyTrain Father right here for so far as you can maybe also known as the MoneyTrain photo, but right here, I went ahead and drawn right here is so far as is the definition is like so far as is for the steam locomotive, and so far as is the word fuel, and right here as you have it to where I went ahead and came up is like the definitions as so far as is for with my own words. You got to train a steam locomotive, and then a series of commented railroad cars. Of course, this right here is like a definition for what I thought it would mean, but then look it up in a dictionary, and then that's what it means right there. That push by more one or more locomotives, and then you got fuel type. The fuel is like the energy type with the high tech solutions, and then along with the dictionary research, and then you got the name for million, and like the cardinal number 106, that monetary units, and then along with the name as like for word or words. But basically, it's like for MoneyTrain Father is that you have it to where you got these with the train right here, which just looks very close to the train that I used to have whenever I was younger. But you have it to where that. It's like it's basically a locomotive, a steam locomotive, is that they used to say back in the old days. But so far with MoneyTrain, is you have it to where that most of the time that say that they go ahead and zoom in right here on is like for the conductor area, is that you have it to where you got the conductor seating, and of course the driver, I would say a lot of times the driver would be seated right about right here, which I'm sure most of us you've seen like so far with these type of locomotives, is that whenever they cross a railroad crossing, it's like you get to say the railroad crossing could be at about right here, and which most of us I'm sure have seen them before, like with railroad crossing, is you have it to where the lights would tinker off and on, and whenever the train passes. But you got the details right here. Say the MoneyTrain Father, and you got it's like the different the cars it's hauling, and you begin to wonder about so far with the steam locomotives, that most of them would run on like you say I don't know, biodiesel fuels or coal type product fuels or such and such stuff like that. But basically that the MoneyTrain Father kind of came on the idea of the fact about I say it's like kind of a good Father's Day you say presentation as so far as science and engineering about how the locomotive works, and then about how they are built, and then along with how they're discovered. And I'm sure most of us may have gone to like the science museums, the St. Louis Science Center or something like that. But basically is so far as with you got the MoneyTrain right here, is you guys say that most of the time that you hear that that a lot of times that the businesses that run the trains, is the freight trains or the passenger trains would have the freight, about, back here, and it could be hauling maybe about, I don't know, it's like, it could be hauling about maybe 40,000 pounds of freight or something like that. And you begin to wonder if, if ever at one time if it used to haul, it's like, cars or anything like that. But let's just say that if there was like a mountain view, I would think that give it like a little view right here. Let's just say that if the train were to be hauling anything such as locomotives, or if it could be say a steel or other minerals, you say it could be lumber or anything like that, that it could be being shipped from like I don't know, Montana or whatever you call it. It could be Montana. It could be sent from Montana all the way to I don't know, maybe Illinois, or just say maybe Chicago. You have for either Chicago, or it's like you have it. See how it. I guess I could say maybe Kansas State. I say use Kansas State, or maybe Chicago, but I might if you wherever it would be going, maybe about 150 miles away, something like that, maybe 150 to I guess you say 2.32 or so miles, which I think that'll be about close to a mile, close to 3 miles, say is a measurement. Maybe it's like if we ever figured it out, so far as the mathematic type works, is it so far as distance. But you got the MoneyTrain Father, and then of course the way I kind of remember is that whenever I was a kid, that so far as is with the model trains, is it basically, I remember that whenever the train that my dad built me, from a long time ago, back about 20 years ago, that they had to where you plug it in, and it would make like a whistling sound, like doot doot, but it would make like a whistling sound, and then it would move on the tracks. But of course, is that with most toy trains, that you could probably say that if you do so much more. But on the other hand, that with most trains, it's like used to be able to haul things, and of course it's like maybe to for the remembrance of the photos, as to where they detoured so far as different parts of the world, and if it was ever the desert areas, or if it was the country main backlands, or whatever you call it. But so far with MoneyTrain Father, is you have it to where that you have it that if like with MoneyTrain Father, come up with your own picture design of so far as the money is like whatever money that comes off the train, you could probably think it is like with whatever money. And I remember these type of trees right here is kind of the trees that would look like from that old railroad, that train set that I used to have. But you got that the train right, the tree right here, and then after the tree, and of course it's like it could be designed for the money right there. Whatever money that's made off the train is the remembrance of the photo. Is like so far as the history of transportation, so far as so far for fuel. And the definition is, say, for fuel is basically is that you got the fuel pump maybe be about right here, and then that's where the combustors, say the part where the fuel goes in, and then it's like you got the steam right here. The steam would come out about right here, as if it were be burning the fuel, and you got the engine right here. But basically, for most dads, you say would would know quite a bit, about this stuff, or maybe heard of it. But basically the study about how a steam locomotive engine works. But so far with the Money Train Father, is you can have it to where so far with the millions of ways to discover, is like for the reasons